guys. We are learning something so fun in algebra today. We are going to continue with factoring. And like if I had to factor the number 16, it would be 1 and 16 and 2 and 8 and 4 and 4. That's what factoring is. But when you're factoring trinomials, you have to factor them so they, right now, so that they're in like two sets of parentheses. This is where the puzzle pieces begin. I love the book because the book always starts slow and gradually gets harder. So we're going to start slow today. You've already started slow within the past couple days. This is where you have to really start to think. Tomorrow's, or the next time we have a lesson, it will be even harder, but it's fun. And I think you get a little excited when you get it done. So we're doing factoring trinomials in the form x squared plus bx plus c. You notice that's a trinomial. There's a square there, there's a number there, and there's an x in the middle. So let's look at the first one. The first thing I want to tell you is that if you are factoring a trinomial and there's two positives, when you do your parentheses, there will always be two positives, okay? Over here in this example, when you see a positive and a negative, okay? When you see a negative there, that's always going to be one positive and one negative if the negative is there. If you see, let's see, that's going to be, I can't see an example, the other kind of example. I think we did them yesterday where there was a positive and a negative. If you see a positive and the negative, I'll just give you an example here. X squared, let's see, minus plus 16. X squared minus 8 plus 8x plus 16. If that was the case, there would be two negatives inside. Okay, so when you see a negative first and then a positive, it's going to be two negatives. If you see a negative at any time at the end, it's going to be a negative and a positive. And if you see two positives, it's going to be two positives. Trying not to confuse you, but okay, here we go. X squared. We know that x squared is going to have an x and an x there. Now, here's the fun part. I've got a 12 here, and I've got a 7 here. What you have to do is figure out all the ways that you can multiply to get 12. So we've got 1 times 12, we've got 2 times 6, we've got 3 times 4, and that's it. Okay, those are the factors of 12. Now, I know I'm going to be adding the two factors together. So I have to figure out which one of these pairs of numbers, if I add them together, are going to get the middle number, which is 7. Clearly, the answer is 3 and 4. So this becomes x plus 3 and x plus 4. Now let's check it. To check it, we'll just FOIL it out. X squared plus 4x plus 3x plus 12. 4x and 3x in the middle becomes 7x. Correct. Okay? So let's do it again. We notice two positives. I'm going to put my parentheses. This is x squared, so I know the square root of x squared is x. I'm going to put my two positives because I know it's positive. Let's factor 8 and figure out a way that if we add two numbers together with factors of 8, we're going to get 9. So I have 1 and 8 and 2 and 4. 2 and 4 make 6. That doesn't work. But 1 and 8 added together make 9. 1 and 8 would work. If I factored that all, if I multiplied that all, well, FOIL, I would get x squared plus 9x plus 8. Okay, now notice we have a negative. So now it gets a little trickier. I'm going to put my x's here. I'm going to factor 72, okay? So let's say 2 and 2 goes into 7, 3, 36. Let's see, 7, 8, 9. What else goes into?
9.
3.
9 and 8.
And 3 goes into 2, 6, 12, 24, 8 and 9, 9 and 8. Okay, now, if you notice, there might be some other factors, but I already know which one it is anyways. But if you notice that there's a positive and a negative, that means you're going to have to subtract one of these numbers. So, because you have a positive here and a negative here, is there any way to subtract either 36, 2, 24, 3, 8, and 9 together to get a positive x? Or a positive, you know that a positive x really has a 1 in front of it. Well, the only way to do that is a plus 9 and a minus 8. If you add 9 minus 8, you're going to get a 1. So you have to put the plus with the 9, the minus with the 8. Let's see if it works. FOIL it. X squared minus 8x plus 9x minus 72. Negative 8 plus 9 is a plus 1x in the middle. Okay? All right. All right, now this is a little different because this is not in the form x squared plus bx plus c. There's a 2 here, and the 2 is not a perfect square. So we actually have a 2 that we can factor out of each thing. So they throw that in there so that you'll factor out the 2 and be left with x squared plus 11x plus 24. Now, 24, how can I get 24? 1 and 24. 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. Okay, what combination of these numbers will I get 11 in the middle? Let's see, I have 2 pluses, so I can do this, and I can move my x's, and I can put my pluses. Now, 6 and 4 is 10, because we're adding. 8 and 3 is 11, that's what I'm looking for, and that's my answer. Trust me, I'm not going to factor it out. If I foiled that all out, I would get this. Okay? Now, over here, I have a negative and a negative. I told you when you have a negative here, that means that one is going to be positive and one is going to be negative. Obviously, the negative is going to be with the higher number this time because this is negative in the middle. So when you have a negative in the middle, whatever the number is that's higher is going to have the negative. So you have an A and an A. Now let's factor out 14. 1 and 14, 2 and 7. Okay. Can I combine either any of these, the 1 and the 14 or the 2 and 7, to get a negative 5? Well, yes. If I had a positive 2 and a negative 7, I would get a negative 5. So it's going to be plus 2 and minus 7. And if I factored that out, I foiled it out, I would get a squared minus 5a minus 14. This is my last example that I made up on my own. I'll call this example 6. X squared minus 8x plus 16. You're going to put your x's here. How do I get 16? Maybe you're starting to get that you don't have to write down the factors all the time if you can think in your head. I know that 4 times 4 is 16. So if I add a negative 4 and a negative 4, I'm going to get a negative 8. X minus 4, x minus 4. This we did the other day, so... Okay, so that is factoring trinomials in the form x squared plus bx plus c. Your assignment is, and I hope you enjoy this because it is, I think it's fun. It's a puzzle, it's a game, it's kind of like a game, and when you do it right, you get excited. 377, numbers 1 through 26. We will have a quiz on Monday on this and the last couple sections. Thank you.